All right, Pro Dumpster Diver back at it again. This will be our first true gold melting video. We're going to do a reverse electroplate. Here, I actually have double-sided gold-plated panes, and this is actually PCB, as you can basically see. This is our first video ever doing this. I also have a few other pieces here, which are also gold-plated double-sided there. And what we did is that we actually ended up getting a computer supply. I believe his name is 99 Doosan that actually went over this. And with a computer supply, you separate the different wires, and you get the all black wire, which will be your black here, and then the red wire, which will basically end up being your good 12 volt there, as I basically checked. And what we're going to do is we have a very thick dish here. Now, in order to actually make this work, you're going to need two things. You're going to need the copper. I ordered some copper mesh online, and this is copper mesh that actually comes out pretty well. And then, since I didn't have a lead plate, you can actually get a lead sinker. You can get these at Walmart, which is very, very good. Okay, last but not least, you are going to end up needing highly diluted sulfuric acid. This is what it is. I was looking for the name of it online. This is Roto Drain Professional. Okay, drain opener. Okay, this is sulfuric acid. And what we're going to do is we're going to put everything in this side of the dish. I could do it in this side, but the best part about this dish is I can actually show you it has two parts of it. Okay, it has a small side and then another side here. And this is very good for heat, as well as I was also told when you do reverse electroplate, it does get a bit hot right now. So I have my computer supply here, and this is an EVA 400 watt right now. And then we have that set up. Okay, so for those of you always asking, hey, when you're going to actually end up melting the gold, that's what we're going to end up doing right now. I decided not to do it all during the day when it was too hot, and I wanted to do it cool before it got dark out. So remember, you are going to need copper mesh, as 3 tips does actually say. You are going to need some things that you can reverse electroplate, and these will be very good. Also, use a pliers when you basically have to pull things out and dip them in, and when you're done, just throw them in the garbage. Okay, all right, so that's what we're going to do. This is basically part 1, which is the setup. All right, now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have this hanging a certain way. So I'm going to get a piece of copper and put it there, or I could actually have it, carefully. But again, I want the lead part to be in the water, not the alligator clip. Now, you can get these at Harbor Freight, which are pretty good. I believe they're like $3.99 for a pair. Okay, and if you keep them good, they'll last you a long time. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a piece of copper just to hang one side here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang another side there, and I'm going to reverse electroplate it to the inside. And I'm going to fill this a little bit more than halfway to make sure I get to the bottom of it. And at the bottom of it will basically be what we actually need for the gold, okay? That is... All right. So basically, we have the setup. So how the setup is very simple. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can actually practically see that. We have the red, which is attached to our copper, which is here. And we have the lead here, which is the negative, which is actually attached to a lead plumb, okay? Now, the whole purpose is we need the sulfuric acid to get at least up to, if I want you to see it, the number 2, which is there on the lead plumb. That way everything actually touches the sulfuric acid. And what we want to do is we definitely want the copper to be in there touching, and at the same time, so much for that right now. So we're going to fold this over. If I can put it like that. I do want it touching. Oh, the sun is coming out. All right. And I want this to grip it like that. Okay. So I got to get everything touching at the same time. But the problem is I don't want the copper to be all the way at the bottom, because that's where the gold that we have is going to collect. Okay. So thick dish, lead plumb, negative lead, copper, positive lead. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the sulfuric acid in here so it reaches the 2. So sometimes the best thing to do is actually use a measuring cup, which we actually have right here. And I'm going to get it all the way up to 32 ounces, and we're going to see how much that is. All right. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to pour that up to the 32 ounces there. Now, again, remember, this is sulfuric acid. This is highly powerful and toxic here. Up to 32, which is basically 4 cups. All right, now always use your measuring cup and anything you can use to measure. So basically this is at 4 cups or about 32 ounces. And we're going to pour it in there, all right, without splashing it. So it covers all right, it's touching the copper. And it's kind of, as I'm going to show you, almost up to the 2, but we need that covering it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill it not to halfway, just to the 12. Okay? And that's what that is going to be. So I filled it up to the 12, which is about 1.5 cups there. And we're going to pour this in here. And it is touching the 2. Okay? So what we have is we have the copper there that is up to the 2 at the point. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to end up plugging it in. Okay? And we are going to use our first piece, which is actually going to end up being this double-sided piece of gold-plated material. Okay? I'm going to step a bit far back. We're going to plug it in. All right? It is plugged in. Now, we don't see any reaction practically just yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this up with a piece of pliers. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to get, so when you do eventually put this in, you want to make sure when it's in, you're not technically holding it or touching it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a special grip. So you can fast forward the video. All right. So we're going to get a special grip. Let me move this over so you can properly see it down a little bit. I know you guys are going to wonder, like, what about the camera angle? Here is pretty good. Okay. And we do have some fizzing on that side. So let me get some. All right. I have a pliers here, and this pliers has a special grip with it. So to put that in. All right, moment of truth. Let us put this in and see if she starts. We're going to put it in between the middle of this here. See if there's a higher reaction to it right now. There's a bit of a, how do we say this? There's a bit of an egg smell. Now we do have some bubbles here, which is good. Let's dip it out. Nothing really there. All right, I'm going to have this here. Now we do have some bubbles, if you can clearly see by the sinker. I'm going to dip it out again. A little bit of discoloration. I'm going to continue holding it here. Leave it for a couple seconds. These long pieces are very good because they can touch the bottom and you can actually see what's clearly going on right there. This is a non-metallic bowl, which is good. You know what we'll do? We will it might be coming off on the end a bit, if you can clearly see that. I've seen some people use toothbrushes to get rid of that. Now I know there is some electric going on right now. We do have some bubbles by the sinker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some waves so that there's no more bubbles. I do have there's a bit of an egg smell right now, like sulfur, like if somebody lit a fart bomb. So we're waiting. Who knows how long this might actually take? Some people say it might take about 30 seconds right now, but you never know. So we will continue to basically see. We're going to see if it's got any reaction to it right now. I'm not seeing much. Bit of bubbling on that side. Okay. So again, this is what reverse electroplating would actually be. Let's see here. Let's see if it's actually starting to come off. I'm going to scrape some of the top here. It's very distinguished. Is it? I guess it is. It's a bit slow, but we'll wait there. So we do still have bubbles by the sinker over there right now. And what I'm gonna do is, so it is getting electricity, but this may take a bit of time. I know it's not gold filled, it's just PCB. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to leave this PCB piece. Let's see if I can have it stand up in a way. I'll have it stand up. Let's see if I can actually do that. Just have it stand up like that. All right. And we're going to leave it there for 5 minutes and then come back. If there is discoloration on the bottom, which basically tells us that it is working, we'll leave it, and we could actually leave a few pieces in there. So we do have some, if I can show you, we do have some bubbles by the lead sinker. So we are getting electricity right now. The difference is it may take some time for that piece. Maybe it's gold filled. Who knows? So we're going to give it about another 10 minutes and see what happens. So, update. I did a little bit more research. The copper was good. What I ended up doing is actually taking the positive, if you can see here, and actually directly hooking it up to the gold plate piece, and it just started to come off. All right. And that black there is what you would actually have. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle this where you can see it, and I'm going to plug it in again so you can actually see what's going on. Okay. You're going to see a bit of bubbles or something before like that. And so the gold is actually starting to come off, which is absolutely pretty good. So that's the gold coming off there, which is definitely a good thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug it out, and we're going to move this piece of gold off. Okay. It's not plugged in. We're going to move this piece of gold off. Okay. And I'm just going to put this piece of gold over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a new piece. I'm going to show this to you. It is double-sided, by the way. And we're going to attach this piece here to the end part, and it's going to be submerged. So I'm going to show you how that basically is. Okay. That's just the wind, guys. Relax. All right. And so what we're going to do, let me angle this out a bit better, is it's not plugged in now. I'm going to plug it in now. Okay. Remember, this is a brand new piece. Okay. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. All right. It's plugged in. And what we're going to do is you have to wait a couple seconds right now. But remember, this is a brand new piece. Okay. You see it's bubbling? You see you see it? You see it's bubbling? All right. And look at that. Look at that. The gold is coming off. Beautiful. So this is live right here. All right. We're finally able to do it. The gold itself is actually coming off. And all that black is basically the gold right now. Okay. So we still need the center part for that. All right, and what we're doing is we're getting a few more bubbles in there, okay? And then voila, that's the gold part there going off, which is beautiful. What I might have to do, and I'm going to unplug it now, what I might have to do is actually break these in half for it to properly work, because I have to get the entire thing submerged in here, if you can kind of understand what I'm saying with that. So I may have to actually break them in half and then do them just like that. Or what I actually can do is I can get a special glove and actually just attach different pieces of copper to it. But yeah, look at that. The gold is coming off. Now, what I do need to make sure is that all of the gold is actually off. That's the important part about it, because you don't want to leave any gold there just like that. Or if anything, I could actually attach two pieces together at the same time, but I want to make sure that there is a bit of space there right now. So as you can see, a little bit more than half of the gold is off. All right, but I need to be able to get the entire thing in. So what we're going to do is, when we're done with these pieces that have been submerged, we're going to put them in a container and then flip them. And what we're going to do is bring this up a little more than halfway of sulfuric acid. So that's what we're going to end up doing now. It is looking like it is getting a bit cloudy out here right now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the smart thing there right now, because we're going to have to dip it in, dip it out, dip it in, dip it out right now. And I still have, I'm actually going to show you guys this. I still have this box here, and inside of this box is these special pieces that we're going to put in. The trick on that is how to get those properly done to get reverse electroplated right now. So the wind is picking up, okay? And so actually, let's make this easier. Let's take this piece out, okay? And what I actually have is I have pieces like this, okay, which are basically just pieces there which we can dip in, okay? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to try this piece out, because we can actually hold it to a smaller part, okay? We're going to hold this here right now. Let me see if I can get the end piece of it here, okay? And we're going to leave that in just like that. And remember, this is fully gold. We're going to see if the bottom part goes. Okay, it's plugged in, and let us wait. All right, we got some bubbles on the lead part right here. Okay, let's dip this out a bit. Okay, it is changing up a bit right now. We do have some bubbles, and the gold is coming off. Okay, and look at that, gold is gone. All right, so this is good. What we may need is to get a bigger container for this to properly go in, to make sure everything goes out the right way. Now, but as I see it, we're definitely going to have to do a bit more dipping to definitely get that done, because there was a gold piece that fell in there that still has gold on it. Okay. All right. So now we know it works. This is how we're going to get most of our stuff done right now. The wind is picking up a bit strong. Okay. Yeah, the wind there is picking up a bit strong. So all right, so we've got it. Now, again, this is that piece in there, so we're going to need a different container that's fully submerged, and then we're going to have to dip in that in and out, in and out, and change it multiple times right now, okay? So this is the first set of how we do it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach. All right, what we'll do is we'll fill it up with a little bit more sulfuric acid, because as I can see this piece here, all the gold on this is, oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, we got the green, we got the gold. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these pieces standing up in a container, and what we're going to do is then we're going to flip them over, but fill it with more than halfway so it's at least up to the top, and that way when we eventually basically do dip everything in, we'll be able to actually do that the right way. All right. Not bad, but yeah, we have the gold. If you could see the green there, we got the gold. So again, we're going to fill it up a little bit because this is, how do I put this to you guys? You see how it is? It's a little, about maybe 40%, some of you guys would say, about 40% full. So we need this to cover it all the way. So if I put it in here, it only touches that. I need it to at least get to 50 or 60%. Okay? That's what we basically have to do. And to do that, I want to dip the lead all the way in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a copper piece with the lead itself. Actually, we might not even need this alligator clip. We're going to put the copper with the lead and just have it hanging over. That way, when we actually dip this in with the alligator clip, and if anything, I could just get special gloves and actually just end up dipping the pieces in with this, with the metal pliers. So that'll definitely work out. All right. It's plugged out right now. All right. However, this is still sulfuric acid. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this over here. Okay. And I love this secondary part right now. Okay. And we're going to take this piece. Okay. Beautiful. So it's red. So look at that. So we have gold there on one part, but all the other gold is gone, and it's double-sided that way. Okay, so that's what we're going to end up doing to make it a lot easier for us later on, because if we can dip the lead all the way in there and actually just use a different part, it'll definitely work out. So what I'll end up doing is I will get special gloves, which basically, I wouldn't say heat resistant, but all electric resistant there as well, and to do that. Okay. All right, so what we did is that we just attached the sinker, which is the lead piece, to the sulfuric acid. I bought it past the 2, and what we're going to end up doing is we're actually going to end up taking the red, which is here, and actually just end up attaching it to a gold piece, which is going to be here. Okay, now I do have some gloves on, and I have another glove that we're going to end up using, which is a little bit thicker right now, very thick. Now, what is the amperage? I have 12 volts to 1.5 amps on this right now. Okay. All right. And what we're going to do is plug this baby in. It is plugged in fully. And now we are going to some grip with this here. We're going to put in our piece. Okay. Now remember, this is double-sided completely, okay? So I can actually put it all the way in, which is very good. And once I feel like it's touched there, when some of the gold is actually going to end up being off, we're going to end up taking that up. All right, so you see the sizzling by the sinker over there, which is the lead sinker. Dip this in there. All right, some of the gold is coming off right now. Okay, a little bit more. Look at that. So it's actually, that's how it is. That's actually how it looks. Wow. All right, so and bring you guys in a little bit more so you can actually see that right now. So it's plugged in. We got a lot of bubbles from the lead piece. This is attached to the gold there. Okay. Have a lot of bubbles from the gold piece over there, as you can basically see. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hold this over there. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so it's taking its time. It is bubbling there, which is good. So yeah, this is going very well today. This might actually have a lot more gold in it than I originally thought. Okay, now I got to be able to make something that. See if I can. Oh yeah, I can. I got a little piece of copper right there. Beautiful. So I can actually hold that piece just like that. And what we're gonna do is we got bubbles here, but we also want bubbles here right now as well. Apologies for the wind, guys. Apologies for the wind. Okay. But it is plugged in right now. And what we want is just like this piece that was actually here. See, this was gold plated, so this came off immediately. It seems as though these pieces I have are actually gold filled. I'm going to pick this up a little bit. Still going. Still going. So I'm going to let that sit there for a little bit. All right, and we're going to wait. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it out and then plug it back in. Okay, and we're going to wait and see what we got right now. It is windy outside. That's why you have that. It's constantly going over there right now. So if it gets too windy, I'll basically just bottle this up. So we're going to wait for our little fizzy there right now. Give it a couple seconds. Everything is plugged in. Everything is attached. Not really. Ooh. Shaking shouldn't affect it. See what we got there right now. If this has done anything. Nope, still got gold. Still got gold. Not seeing any bubbling right now, but we'll wait a little bit more. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to try another piece here right now. This one has a lot more gold on it, similar to that one right now. I'm going to go ahead and attach this here, and we're going to go ahead and see if I can attach this. I'm going to be able to get it close to that right now, and then put it in there. That way it's submerged, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to plug it in, and we are going to see. Now, the reactions with this one usually take a bit faster to actually go through. So we're going to wait. Okay. See what we got. We got some red showing up right now. It's already attached. Oh, it's coming off. Oh, there we go. Dip it in there. So that would basically be some of the gold there. All right, it is slowly coming off. You notice the discoloration on the submerged part right now. It might be the amperage. The one I'm using is 1.5 amps. So I can check to harbor. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got a reaction. Wait, we got something right here. All three pieces. All right. Whoa, don't want you going in. Just hang out right there. Okay. See if we can find a. All right. So as you can see, I'm going to point this out to you. We have a bit of reaction from this side and this side here. It's taking a bit of time. Okay. All right, let's dip it up and let's see what we got. All right, it's cooking slowly. It's moving slowly. The other one was fast, though. Okay. All right. We're going to get... So this piece worked out well when it was inside. All right, let's take you out then. Oh, all right, it's moving. What I'm going to do is... Let's unplug it and get a different... All right, so we have it here, and what happened is I moved inside a bit, so it has started to specially drizzle right now. So I brought it in here, and I wanted to show you guys this here. So you see how we have put this here? I electroplated this side here, but obviously there's still gold on the other side. Okay, so what we have here is we actually have a sinker. This is a lead sinker, and we have our positive here and a negative here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this to this part here, okay? And we're going to put this and electroplate this in here. Now the reaction is going to start very slow, so I'm going to get as close as I can without getting any chemical on the camera. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that, look at that, look at that! It's working! Oh my goodness! It is working. And boom. It's covered that there, and now this piece is done, okay? So all of the gold is off of this completely, okay? Now I don't want to touch this because obviously this has sulfuric acid on it right now. I'm just going to plop that right there, okay? And I'm going to put this piece right here. I have a copper part to it so we can hook on the top there, and I'm going to let those bubbles dissipate. Those are the bubbles that go in right now. Okay, all right, and so I have a few more pieces here, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to attach this part to our positive. Now, for those of you asking, this is a 12-volt, 2-amp attached to a power supply, all right? We're going to start this again. Here we go. It's starting, it's starting. Look at that, look at that. You see it bubbling? As all the gold is being removed. There. And when we bring it up, all of that gold is gone. That gold right now is inside of the bottom. Okay? Very simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this. Now it's funny because when you start doing this, that black is coming off. Some of that black is definitely there right now. And then I'm going to put it inside of here. Okay? Now when it's completely done, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the garbage. So for example, like this piece is completely done. This is completely done. So I can just go ahead and throw that out right now. Okay? This piece here is not done yet. I just had one side in, so I can still take the other side right now. And what I'm going to do is these are the other pieces that we had in there the other day where, again, we did the electroplating for one side. But what we have to do is, again, we still have the other side to do. And you have to do that because it's going to be gold you're throwing out. So when we're done with all of this, we get to throw it in there, and then we have this. Now, the best thing for you, again, is to get something like this. I believe this was from a crock pot, which was actually double-sided. So this is the small side, this is the big side here, and this is a crock pot piece, which definitely is good. Now, they say you want to have it because make it shatter resistant, and you want to make sure that it doesn't overheat. To be honest, this doesn't get hot at all, right? Like I have it in there for a few seconds for this, and that's it. It really doesn't get hot for any reason at all, okay? And that's basically it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing this with you guys because I know you love being here watching this. So I'm going to push, see if I can push this over a bit. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, come on, I got to figure out how to set up the camera properly right now. And I'm going to do this a couple of times with you right now so you can actually end up seeing how it works. Perfect. Okay, all right, so I'm going to bring this down. Okay, all right, so we have our negative, which is here. I have my positive, and I'm going to take a few pieces out, and we are going to reverse electroplate them. All right, here it begins. Beautiful. And I got to make sure it gets all the way up to that part as to not waste any gold. And if I got to be out here at 8 tonight doing this, I will. All right, so I'm going to bring it up. All right. I still have some gold on the other side, so I got to bring it down again. Slowly. Make sure you see the bubbles. Okay, make sure you see the bubbles. All right, that's good. Is there a bit of gold on that? Highly unlikely, but again, you never know. There we go. There we go, it's off, okay. Now once that's done, all I do is I drop that into the bucket. And I take another piece. I'm doing this with you guys so you can actually see me do it technically live. And we're going to take another piece here. Boom. Look at that. And I do it slow to make sure the electricity actually catches. Okay. Beautiful. Perfect. You can get that little bit of gold right there. Okay. And perfect. This piece is absolutely done. When I'm done with it, I just open up the alligator clip and put that right in there right now. And I'm going to grab another piece. I'm going to put, so again, half of this is already done. Half of this I'm putting in here slowly. You can technically hear a sizzle when it starts sometimes, but it's rare. Okay. And see the little bit of gold there. Voila. Beautiful. Beautiful. Finally getting this done, man. I should have been doing this a while ago, to be honest. Beautiful. And for those of you basically saying it probably costs you a lot of money to set it up, to be honest, you probably could actually set all of this up for free, right? Because the bowl, I mean, people throw these out all the time. You can probably pick one up at a garage sale. The wiring is just a 12-volt plug that I just cut. Again, people throw that out. You can get a fishing rod sinker right there. Connected to it. It's just a piece of, in fact, I could actually just have it hanging from the ceiling, to be honest, inside of there. So I wouldn't even need the copper. You know, the alligator clip is one I just got from Harbor Freight. Actually, AC, is it AC More? I think it's AC Hardware. And they have kind of a pack of two for like $2.99. But you can actually end up going to Harbor Freight and picking up like a whole pack of these, maybe like 30 of them for maybe like $2.99 or so. And they have different sizes, which is good because there's different size types of scrap you're going to end up electroplating, which is definitely good. And yeah, all you need is a power supply. So technically, you could actually end up technically doing this whole setup for free. But again, you're going to need your gold scrap, and you're going to need a lot of it. Now, I'm going to have to dip each and every single piece in here just like that. Is this faster than leaving it in the acid? I would actually end up saying. For a couple days, yeah, it's a bit faster and I like it, which is good because I actually get to see all of this actually go. You know, I'm definitely liking this right now. Okay, so this is perfect. Goes in there. There we go. See the reaction? I believe this is glass. It's possibly glass. You know, and sometimes you'll get a bit of an odd smell or something to it, and you don't want to end up doing this indoors. Definitely, none of you. I don't think any of you should be doing this indoors. So you see all the smoke, not smoke, all the bubbles coming off of this right now. This piece probably has a lot of gold on it right now, which is good. Which is why you see so many bubbles on this. So we're gonna wait, and again, I'm gonna make it as slow as possible right now. And I know this has gold on it because the other one side is done, but this takes a long time. So there is such thing as gold filled and gold plated. That's actually out there, that does exist. Yep, see the reaction to it? Now it's coming up even more. This piece is actually taking a long time, but there's more and more gold coming off this, all right? So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to see how much gold is on this, okay? I'm going to move all the bubbles away, and we're just going to put it in. And we're going to have it create its own. See how it's creating its own bubbles? See that? So gold is reacting to it and slowly coming off right now. All right? And it's taking its time. I'm seeing a little bit of smoke in the air after this. But then it's still... This must have a lot more gold on it than I originally thought. So I'm actually going to end up putting this aside. Okay? That is interesting. So one of the things you can definitely do is when you do that, take a 5-minute break, walk around a little bit. If you're outside already, get some fresh air. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually do the rest of these 50 pieces and do those other ones. And when those are done, I'm going to come back, sit them out, and then flip it over. And we're going to figure out how much gold we have. And then we're going to end up doing this. Now, I haven't tried these pieces yet. I believe that these pieces here are gold scrap. Trying to do everything with one hand. And I believe these pieces are scrap there. So what I'm going to do before I actually take a break and wrap the video up is I'm actually going to test them. Okay? So we're going to put that here. I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to put it in. And we're going to see if this works. So let's try it here. Not getting much of a reaction. Small, very small amount of bubbles there. Some bubbles on the end of it, if you can clearly see that. Okay, let me bring it up. Oh, okay, so there is discoloration with it. So if you can clearly kind of see there, we still have some gold on this side, and there is a discoloration there, which actually is very interesting. So we do have gold on this right now, and the good part is it's not going to take that long to come off of it right now. So I can technically dip it right in there and then slowly bring it out. Perfect. Kind of got to get the end part there. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So these pieces actually do have gold on it, and the good part is it only takes a couple seconds to come off, right? And that's one of the reasons why I love reverse electroplating right now. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up with doing the last piece, which is here, and we're going to see if it sizzles and see how long it takes to go. Now, what is the smell that you'll get? It smells similar to eggs. Finally going in. There we go. There we go. Come on. Perfect. Not all the gold is up and out. It's about halfway there. Slow. Okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. That's how that is. I know you guys like the long videos, so I'm going to keep at this till about 8 o'clock tonight, and I will talk to you guys later. Throw a dumpster dive of finally melting the gold out.